Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to episode number 2 of MetaZoo Lore Packs with Argos Anonymous. My name is Adam. Today, we're going to open this little guy. We're going to see what kind of awesome alpha Kickstarter cards we can pull from this. I love these first edition Kickstarter packs. For those of you who don't know, they were like the process of manufacturing is going to be different than probably anything we see down the road, because these were the first run. It was a very small print run, and they were hand packed. So future packs are going to be machine packed. It's going to be different material, and that's kind of cool. So these are kind of a cool little thing. But let's open it up. We're going to find a beastie in here, and then we're going to dive into the lore after cracking the pack and after seeing what we get. We don't know which beastie we're going to see in here, so we don't know which one we're going to talk about. We'll just pick the coolest one, or one that we haven't talked about yet, and we'll go from there. Skipping Earthquake, that's a good spell, but not a beastie, so not much to say about it. Water Gun looks like a nice little spell. Again, not a beastie. Antidote, another common. Bat Squatch. Yeah, all right. Okay, so contender number 1, Bat Squatch. We might have to talk about that one. That's kind of ridiculous. Salem's Witches. Ooh, that's kind of a classic. That could be fun. A lot of people already know about Salem and the witches, of course, but you know, like a little quick little review might be kind of fun anyway. Scattershot looks a little meteor shower. That's cool. Cool little X spell here. Anyone can play it because it is without aura. Balancing Beam, another aura-less spell. I guess it's an uncommon because it's silver over there. You know what? Oh, look at that Holo Bait. Stop it. And we got Raining. All right. Oh, that's great. Reverse Holo Babe, my bad. Babe the Blue Ox. Of course, everyone knows this story too, or a lot of people too. So we've got, okay, this is tough because what do we choose from? We've got Salem's Witches. Everyone kind of knows about that. So let's pass on that one. But I mean, I kind of want to look up Bat Squatch because nobody's going to know what that means. But how do you pass on Babe? I mean, how often are we're going to draw more Bat Squatch. We're going to see a lot of Bat Squatch, right? Obviously, because he's a common. We're going to see more Bat Squatch. But are we going to see another Babe? We might not. I think, ladies and gentlemen, I think we have to use this as an opportunity to review the story of Babe, the beautiful blue ox. This is a beastie. It costs 2 of any aura and 3 ice. Yeah, it's got 110 life points. This is a Kickstarter version right down there. You can see that. There's all the card art. We do have a 4th wall effect indicated by the star. Let's see what that does. This beastie may be contracted for 1 less if it is winter, or if a beastie named Paul Bunyan is in the arena. Now, Paul Bunyan hasn't been released yet, the playable card. There's just a sample that's floating around there. But there are several future sets of MetaZoo already planned, and Paul Bunyan is going to be in one of those. I assume it's going to be like the Wilderness set, but we'll see. And then the flavor text for Babe, we have an eternal companion to Paul Bunyan. Babe has joined him on many journeys and more perils. All right, without further ado, let's get into Babe the Blue Ox. So, Paul Bunyan went out walking in the woods one day during a winter that was notorious for having blue snow. He was knee-deep in the blue snow when he heard a funny sound between a bleating and sort of a snorting. Looking down, he saw a teeny tiny baby blue ox just hopping around in the snow and snorting with rage on account that he was essentially too short to see over any of it, and he was just kind of a furious little blue baby ox. Paul Bunyan laughed and picked him up and took him home and warmed him up. And even though he warmed him up and dried him out, the ox never changed color. When he found him, he was so cold, covered in blue snow, that he was blue. I guess he thought he would change back, but he never did. He just remained Babe the Blue Ox. Paul Bunyan named him Babe, and then as with most things that Paul Bunyan tends to keep in his company, Babe grew up to be enormous. Paul Bunyan himself was said to have stood, where is it here? 63 axe handles tall. Pretty insane. And so Babe was no exception to that. He grew up to be a huge ox, and he grew up to be Paul Bunyan's trusty companion. So in 1937, 2 statues were built in Bemidji, Minnesota. And that was Babe the Blue Ox and Paul Bunyan. And they were essentially built to be tourist attractions. You know, Bemidji, Minnesota had a booming tourist industry all the way back in the 1890s and so on until the Great Depression in the 1920s, when everything kind of crashed. So tourism started to crash, and, you know, enter Paul Bunyan and Babe the Blue Ox. So they did this to stimulate tourism, and it worked. The notoriety of these huge statues really blew up. And today, according to the Kodak company, they are still the second most photographed statues in the United States behind Mount Rushmore in South Dakota. So, if you're ever in Bemidji, Minnesota, I myself am in southern Minnesota, but if you ever get up there to Bemidji, Minnesota, be sure to stop by and check out Paul Bunyan and Babe the Blue Ox. That's all I got. Argos out.